Australian health authorities regularly issue public reminders not to touch bats because they can host Australian bat lyssavirus, ABLV. This type of health education is necessary because it reduces human exposure to bat-borne diseases. However, subsequent sensationalist media reporting risks demonizing bats, which increases human-wildlife conflict and poses barriers to conservation. Bats are remarkable native creatures of key ecological and economic importance. We urgently need more matter-of-fact style reporting around the risks of bat-borne diseases to avoid vilification and persecution of these unappreciated mammals. Read more, In Defense of Bats, Beautifully Designed Mammals That Should Be Left in Peace. Australia's Weird and Wonderful Bats. Australia has 81 bat species, from 9 families. They comprise the second largest group of mammals after marsupials, 159 species. They range in size from the little-known northern pipistrelle that weighs less than 3 grams and ranks amongst the smallest bats in the world, to the black flying fox that can weigh more than a kilogram and is among the world's largest. Bats play many different roles in Australian ecosystems. The southern myotis or fishing bat, for example, has long toes that it uses to rake up small fish and invertebrates from rivers, lakes and ponds. The golden-tipped bat delicately plucks spiders from their webs, while the ghost bat feeds on large insects, rodents, birds, and even other bats. These are examples of microbats, species that use echolocation to find their way in darkness and detect prey. Australia is also home to 9 megabats, species that rely on large eyes and a keen sense of smell to find pollen, nectar, or fruit. The common blossom bat, for example, is a mouse-sized fruit bat with a very long tongue for feeding on nectar. The eastern tube-nosed fruit bat is a solitary bat with long tubular nostrils that are thought to prevent fruit juices from running up its nose, and the little red flying fox is adapted for long-distance flight, traveling thousands of kilometers across the Australian landscape in search of food. Bats are largely nocturnal and inconspicuous, except for those flying foxes that sometimes appear in large numbers in urban environments where they can be cause for much frustration and conflict. Read more, Not in My Backyard. How to live alongside flying foxes in urban Australia. All bats are vulnerable to a range of human threats, including the clearing of foraging areas and the loss or disturbance of roosts. 13 of Australia's bat species are now listed as threatened under our national conservation legislation. Australia's most recent extinction was a bat, the Christmas Island pipistrelle, winked out of existence forever in 2009 following a sluggish federal government response to calls for urgent conservation action. Why are bats important? Bats are important in 2 ways. First, each species has its own value as a part of Australia's natural and cultural heritage. They are fragile creatures, but tough enough to survive and thrive in the harsh Australian bush, if they are given the chance. Second, microbats provide valuable ecosystem services because many are voracious predators of insects, including many agricultural and forestry pests.